Welcome back to another episode of Stand on Guard with David Krayden. I'm your host, David Krayden. And before we get into today's show, and some very interesting material here today, including a surprise announcement from a Liberal MP from Charlottetown. He made a surprise announcement. I think it's going to fascinate you what he predicted. We'll get to that in a minute. So we are in a very precarious position in this country. We need political change, but we also need the resolve to resist. I hope you watched my interview last week with Camille El-Sheikh. He's a local Ottawa Muslim activist and prominent businessman who's out there fighting the LGBTQ agenda ideology in our schools. He's fighting gender ideology. He's standing up for children. He's planning a 1 million-person march for September 20th. Now, I think he can achieve that. But if you want to stay apprised of what's happening, if you want to know how to get involved, keep looking at the description on this page, but please subscribe and ring that bell so you can access that, because we'll be providing the information about what Camille is doing and the other organizers. Their information will be here and you can access it, but please subscribe and ring that bell. So without further ado, I want to get on to our topic today. And it's one of our favorite personalities. You know, shows like this wouldn't be as much fun if you didn't have politicians like Chrystia Freeland, the Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister. Now, some people say she's basically doing all the work in this government because Justin Trudeau just likes to lay back and have a good time. And if you look at the way she reacts to this reporter, it looks like she's maybe a little overworked, maybe needs a little rest someplace, because she's having some trouble. But let's have a look at this.
Stuff we make in Canada, if we are not making it in a green way. People will not want to visit our country if they do not see that we are energetically embracing the green transition. They'll go to places that are embracing that. So
now do you believe that? Do you actually believe that people are not coming to Canada, that our tourism is down because they don't think we're green enough? But yeah, it's an incredible situation, but that's, you know, that is Chrystia Freeland. So let's listen to some.
I really believe very, very strongly that our green policy is an economic growth policy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Although I did.
Thanks. I rarely get that at press conferences. You guys are nice.
I did. Well, it's Prince around.
Yeah, thank you.
I did want to say one more thing, though. I don't need you to retread the ground you've gone over, because you've answered this question from the other side. But you are facing a lot of pushback in this region, in particular from local politicians, local provincial governments that say this. They're not opposed to it, but it's coming too soon, too fast. They need more.
Notice here, she's saying, "Oh, I thought this reporter was on my side," and it appears initially that he's a promoter. He wants to lob a softball question, but she's realizing here, and look at that look in her face. She's realizing, I'm going to get a tough question.
Time to adapt. What do you say to that?
You know what? I say I do really understand. I really understand the challenges. And I do believe that the challenges are different in small towns, in places with less public transit, than they are in big cities. You know, I right now am an MP for downtown Toronto. A fact that still shocks my dad is I don't actually own a car, because I live in downtown Toronto. I'm like, 300 meters from the nearest subway. I walk, I take the subway, I make my kids walk and ride their bikes and take the subway. It's actually healthier for our family. I can live that way.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this. Now, as you can see here, she's not really telling the truth. she uses a chauffeur not only when she's in Ottawa as a cabinet minister being chauffeured around, but she uses a chauffeur in Toronto. And she even uses a chauffeur when she's going to events. She's got a backup limo waiting for her. So she's not only taking the plane to get an event, she's having a chauffeur drive to that event and drive back, even if she's not with it, because just in case she needs that, as this demonstrates. I mean, this is really quite shocking. But this is what Chrystia Freeland is all about. It's about hypocrisy. And the funny thing is, as we can look at this here, she was very upset with Pierre Poilievre for pointing out that she just doesn't understand average Canadians who have to drive a car to work or to pick up the children or to do anything else that you can't do necessarily if you don't have mass rapid transit 300 meters away, or you don't have a chauffeur to pick you up every morning, or you don't have a chauffeur on call every time you go someplace. So she was really upset with Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre for not providing the whole discourse. And of course, you just saw the whole thing right there. You just saw it. That's what she wanted, the whole discourse out, and so she got the whole discourse out. So do you think Chrystia Freeland understands the average Canadian? Do you think she's ever been the average Canadian? No, and certainly not. And she always likes to pretend she's just a common folk, and she understands it all, but she doesn't. Let's hear some more incredible revelations here.
And that's why we've invested massively in electric vehicles, in batteries.
All right. This is a guy named Bill Casey. He's Sean Casey. He is the member of Parliament for Charlottetown, Liberal. He makes a really surprising announcement here. Really surprising announcement. I just want you to wait for this.
The clean fuel standard, the very purpose of that is to allow for transportation with less harm to the environment. I have every confidence that industry is going to respond positively. So I don't have any concern whatsoever, because I have so much faith in the innovators in this country who are being fueled by the investments that we are making. I mean, there are going to be no internal combustion engines in Canada in 2035.
What did he say? No combustible engines by 2035.
I mean, there are going to be no internal combustion engines in Canada in 2035.
No internal combustion engines by 2035. That's what he said. We're going to get to another clip here. And if you want a moment to gag, you've got it now. But this is just Justin Trudeau being Justin Trudeau. And sometimes it's nauseating.
Oh, what a day. What a day. Happy Pride. Great to see you. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Happy Pride.
Well, if that wasn't a heartwarming moment, I don't know. I don't know what is. I hope you enjoyed those clips today. I want to encourage you again to support independent media. And please subscribe and ring that bell. It's very important to a station like this. It really does help us to stay in business. And I appreciate your support. Please keep sending your comments in, because I do read them. And I'm going to be responding more than I should have been, as I should have been. And I think it's important to stay in touch. And let me know if there's anything you want me to cover. If there's anything, the stories out there you think I should be going after, because I'd be happy to respond. But please continue to support this station, continue to support the work I'm doing. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of this experience. And that's what I'm going to do every week here, is bring you the news you might not see everywhere else. And we're coming against Justin Trudeau's internet censorship laws. Please subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't done so already. I know it's annoying to ask. Believe me, I'm not a salesman. I'm a writer. But I really implore you to do that, because I need this station to keep going. We want to keep bringing you the news that you want to hear. And if you want a story covered, let me know, please. Because that's where I'm getting a lot of news information from your tips. So thank you for being there for me. And you can also support this station by going on my Substacks and subscribing for $8 a month. Yes, I know it's free, but I can also use your support. So please do that if you can. And I will continue to be here every week, every day if must needs be, to tell you what's really happening in this world of ours. And I'm in nobody's pocket, but I am on your side.